But all these things, and you talk about all the time, things that you learned back in the day on the field, you still take with you to lead businesses.
That's true.
And that's what we're teaching the kids today. It's not just about what you learn on the field or what you do on the field. It's how you take it and apply it to all your life.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Okay, we're back.
Yeah. I'm not sure what part we're on with the pressureless parenting
I think 5
skills
on this.
But yes, just talking about some of the stuff again that happens within the last couple of weeks of our life here. And one of them was the amazing flagged football game we just came off of 2 days ago, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, give them a play-by-play. How'd that go?
Well, he's had 2 weeks of it now. The first week was just a scrimmage. It's a flag football event or league. And the first time they played like one of the teams that I think won last year. And they ended up having such a great victory. They won like 22-21. Drews had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception and just played his heart out, So
He did really well.
It was really, really fun. Then the regular season started this last Saturday. So he had his first regular season game against the team that I think won the year before. So these are the top 2 teams that they're playing against, and they had them back to back. And this game, they went after it, and the other team was pretty good. Like they really were. And I think they got up 12-0. Then Drews ended up scoring, and then the other team scored. So now it's like 18-6, and then it turned into 18-12. Drews scored again, I believe. And it just kind of came down to the wire, right?
Yes, it was a tight game. And, I mean, good coaching, good coaches on both sides. I mean, you could tell that they care about the sport, they care about the kid. But some changes needed to happen for us to be able to win to the next level.
Yeah, such as?
Well, I noticed a few times that while we were there, some of the athletes had been put in positions that weren't their best strengths.
Sure.
And it made it really hard, I think, on both the player and the teammates.
Mm-hmm.
I think the coach was trying their best to give some kids a chance to maybe grow in an area, but it brought a lot of frustration, I noticed. I mean, the quarterbacker, he was hurting at one point. He wasn't doing everything he could be doing. And I don't know, it was a hard game, I felt like, for some of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those dynamics. So you got a good coach, and but he's also trying, I think, to get people to get good at different positions. And so, we've experienced this before.
Yes.
And it gets a little tricky because I don't know. I have a unique philosophy about this. I think you agree with me on this, but I love giving kids a chance to grow into positions. However, all within the confinements of still winning the game. Does that make sense? Practices are for, honing your craft, but the games are for winning, and I know not everybody agrees with this, but I just think that, we've been on enough teams where we've had really good kids, but because of that philosophy of we're just going to do whatever we just practiced, then they get their butts kicked all the time because the other coach coaches to win, right? And then our kids wonder if they're even any good at this or not, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it made me think a lot about when I was growing up. I played fast pitch softball and stuff. And I just remember, when we were in practice, I was a pitcher. And so, of course, I'd be focused in on what I'm supposed to be doing for when a game happened. But the coaches were always available to help another person kind of raise up to be able to be a pitcher or a backup pitcher or whatever. But when it came to game time, the coaches stuck to what won the game, right?
Yep.
And so when we see that not happening, it can cause a level of frustration for the kids and really the parents too on if their kids are any good at what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And so in our situation that just happened on Saturday, like I was trying to explain, and I'll let you kind of explain a little bit better, but really the point of my my story here is that we noticed some players did very well. Drews knows how to catch a ball and run with it every single time. He just needs the right kid to throw it in his hands. But if we have a kid that is nervous to throw because they're trying to get him in a position that he's not really equipped for, that he should work on maybe in practice, but not in a real game, we're going to end up losing. Even though there's a really good kid that can throw. There was a really good kid on our team that was doing great at it, but they kept giving another kid another chance when it wasn't his strength whatsoever.
Yeah. And so what are we talking about for lesson here? I mean...
The lesson in the whole thing was that I noticed Greg, especially, and a few of the other dads too, were like constantly kind of telling the coaches maybe what needed to change up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they were kind of like, hey, put so-and-so in, let's try this again. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And I realized how important it is for the input of an outside player or outside coach to give the input for the real coach. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because the real coach can't see what's going on when they're just trying to do their lesson plan.
Yeah, and I don't want to give the impression like it was just something weird, and it's like there's always coaches probably can relate. There's always the parents who always think their kid should be in. Their kid should always be the play in, and it's hard, I'm sure. I wasn't being disrespectful at all. At the same time, I was kind of coaching Drews from the sideline, because I know Drews and I know what he's good at. I know what he can do. I know how he can kind of take over a game in situations, and he just needed some encouragement to do that. So how do you handle something like this? Maybe that's the topic, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people out there probably be getting in these situations. Well, number one, I'm not in opposition to the coach, right, at all. In fact, I think that he's doing a pretty darn good job, but I do think that I could offer some influence to him. But you're not going to do it in the middle of a game necessarily. Instead, now that I know a few things, I'm going to probably start just getting to know him a little better. I'm going to build a little relationship with him. And I even started at that game. At the end of the game, I went up and I made sure I really took my time to edify him and talk about like 5-6 things I thought he did super well. And he also was having a day because one of the guys that used to, coach with him is no longer here, and it was kind of a hard day for him. It's kind of his first time not. And so I just told him I was sorry. Just being a human being, it's not. I don't know. I think sometimes it's really easy to not treat people like human beings. You forget that they got life going on too, and all kinds of stuff. And even the other assistant coach just really went on and just made sure that I let them know how appreciative they are. When everything from bringing snacks. When we bring snacks, we don't bring garbage snacks. We bring nice stuff. We invest. We put time in it. We try to set the standard for it all, just so that way it's another level of appreciation. When on the sideline, when our team needs a little pickup and the coach is out there working hard to give instruction, we're the ones just yelling to help everybody in the game, like be encouraged and being the big cheering staff from the side of the just tell them they can still do it and there's still time and just helping with the atmosphere. So there's a lot of things you can do that build trust, because I know this just from working with people. If that coach thinks that I'm in any kind of a threat to him, I can't influence him. And I don't want to be the head coach. I just don't have time. However, there's a few things that I can see. So now I'm going to start really getting in there and giving a couple suggestions. I'm going to see how he handles it. I'm going to really pretty much give them a couple of different ideas of things that they can do to get the top couple of kids to work together on specific plays that really need to make the best thing happen, and how to allow the other kids' development in the times of the game when it can happen where it still doesn't lose them the game. It's just a little bit of that kind of organization that I think that if I help him think it through, I honestly believe no parent's going to be upset. They're all going to be happy because their kids are all getting developed. They're all having fun. But let's just face it, nothing's more fun than winning, like ever. So you can start developing your skill set, but if you lose the game at the end, it wasn't as good of an atmosphere for skill set development as if you had won and you spend the whole week celebrating the victory, right? So there's that balance in there that needs to happen. Again, this is a PC world today, and we're fighting against this, but the reality is, there is a scoreboard. And so the goal isn't development in a game. It's not. The goal is winning, right?
Right. And I think that's the whole key, is what I was trying to bring to the table here, is that it's so important that, if we are going to be those parents, which most high achievers are, on the sidelines wanting to win and seeing something that maybe the coach right in the middle of it can't see, then we have to be the kind of people that also help equip those coaches to be able to better coach. You know what I mean? At least try to, because it's no fun to be on the sidelines screaming and hollering for your kid to win and not feel like, you're going to do anything about it. You know what I mean? That's the whole point, is that it goes back to, again, the importance of making sure we have a game plan. Like you just said, you just laid out a whole game plan of what you're going to do. Already was sewing into the guy a little bit, probably going to, send a quick text or so of encouragement and some ideas within the next couple of days.
Maybe I'll start getting during some of the practices and just offer a little bit of help.
Right. But all doing that in the whole circle of, you're doing great. Let's just bring it up to a new level and help the kids win at a whole new level so that everybody can see what it's really like to be on that winning team. Mm-hmm. Because I totally agree with you that it doesn't do anybody any good if they lose, but yet we all tried our best. You know what I mean? We really got to be able to encourage our kids to understand that winning isn't about just hey, I won, but we developed enough skills on our team to win, and that's where we are today.
Yep.
And I think that's really important for our kids to see that.
And then helping Drews navigate it, because he doesn't want to lose. And so, how does he do it? Because I could see him a couple of times with some body language. It's a 3rd down or 4th down. It's a really important play. Getting towards the end of the game, we're down by 6 points. And, instead of going to having the top quarterback throw to the top receiver, who is Drews, who they hardly ever didn't connect. The whole time, they got a different quarterback throwing to a different receiver, and he's not throwing well and the kid's not catching well. It's just not the right time. There's nothing wrong with that play happening, just not on 4th down when we're down by 6 and there's 3 minutes left. Right. And so Drews knows this. And so I could see his body language a little bit. And then I'm just kind of I'm letting him know, hey, come on, you need to lead the team here. You need to let them know there's still enough time. Don't let everybody get discouraged. Don't let everybody give up, because you could still get a pick 6. You could still do something. So regardless, until that whistle blows at the end of the game, you're the leader. You're the guy bringing the energy. You're the guy who shows them that you still believe you can win no matter what. And to teach them that in that moment is huge, because it's super easy to get discouraged, because he knows that if a couple of right plays were done, this wouldn't even be hard.
Well, that's just him thinking like you do, though. Mm-hmm. You're always putting that into him, is the different ideas of can we come from a different angle? Can we think from it this
There's
angle?
always a way to win. Yeah.
Yeah, and you do such a good job, and therefore he starts thinking that way. So automatically when something's not going with a different angle to win, he's you can see it in his face. You can see it in his hands. He's already which is something that you're always working on with him, which I think is so great, is to teach him what it's like to just be in the mode of there's a way still. Yeah. There's a way still. Don't give up till the whistle blows.
That's right. Yeah. And so, and even things like, he was a little bit down afterwards because they could have won that game. And I said, the way that you influence, you can help this situation that you might feel like you're a little out of, you're not able to make an impact here. How can he go tell his coach we should do something different?
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
So you can feel a little help with that. And the way that you can do it though, is instead of going with a complaining kind of a mentality or attitude, the next practice, not today, because it's just too fresh, but next practice, one of the first questions you ask is, hey coach, what can I do better to help this team win every game from here on out? Is there anything you see me that I can do? And what he does is he injects this attitude then, and then his teammates see that. And also the coach starts honestly doing it as well. And he sees, I got some kids here that want to win. I got to pick my game up too. And it's a positive pressure for everybody to get better.
Which is so smart to think about. That's the way to do it. But all of us need to remind ourselves, and you said it a little bit earlier, how everyone has life too. Mm-hmm. So for instance, the coach had life. Something kind of was distracting him that day. He was kind of going through his own life for a minute. Anytime there's a loss, it's not the time to come after a coach and be like, can I correct you on a couple things? Yeah. Can I tell you what I think you could have done differently? I mean, even the nicest coach might want to punch you. You know what I mean? Because it's just I got it. We just lost. So smart on what you're even telling Drews. Don't be a part of making it worse right now. Don't make the atmosphere worse.
Yeah, timing matters.
Timing matters.
For sure. A lot of emotions, a lot of stuff going on. And it's not going to accomplish anything right now. But it's also just getting Drews to always think like this. The reality is, if you're going to be a leader, you have to learn how to influence people.
And it's not just with sports.
No,
it's in everything. It's just what we could show him right now is because it's so applicable to what he's doing in life, which is sports.
Yeah.
But all these things, and you talk about all the time, things that you learned back in the day on the field, you still take with you to lead businesses.
That's true.
And that's what we're teaching the kids today. It's not just about what you learned on the field or what you do on the field. It's how you take it and apply it to all your life.
Yeah, and so for anybody out there listening to this, I would just encourage you to just see almost every game or every scenario as where's the life lesson in this?
Yes.
You know, what can we teach it? Because the reality is the knee-jerk the emotional reaction usually isn't very conducive to a life lesson. Right? You have to kind of take a step back and evaluate it. Allow yourself to feel the emotion if you're disappointed, discouraged or something.
Yes.
But then give it a time frame. Okay, I did that. I had my pity party or my anger party for, 20 minutes, but now it's over.
Yep.
Now let's start thinking, okay, well, what's the wisdom in this? What can we learn from this? Because sometimes you win and sometimes you learn.
And I love that about you. You're always reminding the kids of that. I really appreciate that. Even at the end when they're most frustrated, you're not going to sit there and let them just continue to drag on about something. You're going to say, hey, what did we learn about that? You are always so good about that. Hey, how can we change it next time? Hey, what's one thing you could do better next time? We can't change the whole game, but what's one thing you can do? You're always the one that's reminding them that they can be the change.
Yeah.
And it just starts with them.
We do a debrief
with their mindset.
Almost after everything, right? And it's like, okay, give me 2 or 3 things you did really well. And I make them think about it because a lot of times if they're beating themselves up because they didn't do something well, maybe they got done in golf and it was not a good round, they have to sit there and kind of get their brain on track again to get you want to get the conversation going in the right direction. And then after that, now your brain is kind of freed up to be like, okay, now that I remind myself I didn't actually really stink at everything here. I wasn't horrible. I actually did do some stuff well. Okay, well now I can actually start thinking through what are a couple key things. Because if I learn 1 or 2 key things every time I compete, you're going to get great at whatever you're doing.
That's right.
But you see, there has to be energy towards this. There has to be. I really hope that down the road, one of the greatest memories our kids have about sports is all of our debriefing afterwards, and all of the life lessons that came from it, and all of the way we talk things through, and all because you're right. Everything, they're going to apply all this stuff the rest of their life into running their own families, into running businesses, into creating increase financially, all this stuff, and I love it. Impacting their community, all of it. So good stuff.
Well done, coach from the side. You did good. I like the way though that you're willing to always pour into other coaches.
Yeah.
I love that you're always willing to pour into other people, and I love that you're teaching our son to help pour into other people also from the example that you're setting.
Thank you, dear. I love you too.
I love you.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. And we have great news. You get more of us. You can expect new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. So be sure to consistently tune in with us and enjoy our show. See you next time.